Max Holloway is going to send Dustin Poirier into retirement with a knockout at UFC 318, and here's why. So yes, you heard that right. I believe that Max Holloway will knock out Dustin Poirier at UFC 318, which will be Dustin Poirier's retirement fight in his hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana. And I know what you guys are going to comment first is that they've already fought 2 times before, and that Dustin Poirier has beat Max Holloway in both of those fights. Well, yes, you might be right that they have fought 2 times before, and Dustin Poirier did win both those fights. Their most recent fight was 6 years ago in 2019. That wasn't even in this decade. It was in 2019, so that can be chalked up as irrelevant at this point. If anything, it will show you why in this video Max Holloway will learn from that and win. And then the first fight was even longer ago when they were way worse than they are now. They weren't even the same fighters as they are now, so that fight is completely irrelevant. But now that you mentioned it, because I know you just typed it down in the comments, I will tell you why, learning from that first fight, you can see that Max Holloway will win if you go back and watch it. That fight did get posted on YouTube by UFC earlier today, so if you want to go check that out, you can look that up after this video. But in that video, you will see Dustin Poirier did start off stronger than Max Holloway in the beginning. This is a fight in 2019, 6 years ago, by the way. But they both start off strong. They're both rocking each other, but Poirier is getting the better of it. But then as soon as round 3, 4, 5 hit, especially when you get into those championship rounds, which the fight at UFC 318 will be a 5-rounder fight, you can see that Max Holloway turned it up and Dustin Poirier could not hang with him. That is right, Dustin Poirier won the decision, but if you watch those last rounds, Dustin Poirier, who we all know is a striker, had to resort to grappling and takedowns by just holding on to Max Holloway's legs to make it to the bell to not get knocked out. And in one of the rounds, at the end of the rounds, you could see Max Holloway was raining elbows, but the ref made him change his angle so he couldn't drop 12 to 6 elbows on the side of Dustin's head. But we all know now that that rule has been changed, so if that situation happens again, Max is going to be able to rain down elbows, and with the added power and strength he has at this age, Max will be able to put him out. But that's just one of many ways that Max Holloway can beat Dustin Poirier and will beat Dustin Poirier at UFC 318. Very quickly, if you've not subscribed yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you do so. We are grinding for 900 subscribers. We put out multiple high quality videos a week, and if you join the channel now, when we hit 1 million subscribers, you can look back and be like, I was with that guy before he even hit 1,000 subscribers, so that'd be pretty cool. But enough talking about that. Let's get back into the meat and potatoes of this video. Why Max Holloway will knock out Dustin Poirier at UFC 318. So let's look at their ages. When they fought 6 years ago, Max Holloway was 27, just coming into his prime, and Dustin Poirier was 30 years old, and he was in the middle of his prime at the weight class that he was used to. They fought at 155, which was a weight class that Max Holloway was not used to at the time. He was fighting in 145, as we all know, and he moved up to 155 to take that fight. Max Holloway nowadays is used to 155, so it will be a lot different in this fight going forward. Max Holloway will be way more comfortable, he'll have more strength, and looking at this fight now, Max Holloway is going to be 33, in the middle of his prime. He's coming off of many great wins besides 1 loss to Ilia Topuria. Meanwhile, Dustin Poirier is coming off of a loss to Islam Makhachev. And don't forget that he also got knocked out by Justin Gaethje, who got knocked out by Max Holloway at UFC 300 in a knockout that you, I, and everybody else will remember for the rest of our lives. And that was at the same weight class that Max moved up to, but now he's coming up to it again. He's more used to this weight class, and this spells trouble for Dustin Poirier. And look, I love Dustin Poirier as much as the next guy, but I have to be honest, when it comes to UFC 318, Max Holloway is going to beat him, and there's a great chance that it's going to be a knockout. And when you put on top of that this is Dustin Poirier's retirement fight, he said going into this fight that this is his last fight ever. It's in his hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana. He's gonna have so many friends and family there. He's walking out with Lil Wayne with a live performance. Like, there are gonna be so many different things tugging at Dustin's attention in every way, it being a retirement fight, hometown, friends, family, Lil Wayne, everything you could ever imagine. This is a huge moment for the city, for his city, and he knows that he's not worried about a career after this. I just don't know how locked in Dustin's going to be for this fight. Now, he definitely is going to be prepared, but with all those distractions, that really could play a big deal in this fight when you look at how good Max Holloway is as a striker. Now, since the last time they fought, they've both went on to win and lose multiple fights, and both of them have been facing the best fighters in the UFC at their weight classes, so there's nothing really you could discredit either one of them there for. However, I will bring up again that they've both gotten a lot better, but looking at Dustin Poirier at age 36, I don't think anyone would make the case that he's better now than he is at age 30. He's not going to be in better shape than he is at age 30. His gas tank and cardio is not going to be as good as it was at age 30. But Max Holloway is now 33, and you can look back and say that he is better than he was at age 27. He knows a lot more. He has more experience. He's had time to bulk up to 155. He has more experience at 155. And Max Holloway still has a career after this fight, so he's taking this fight very seriously. He knows he's 0-2 to Dustin Poirer, and if he gets a win over this legend, it will not only be huge for his resume, but he will go out looking like the better fighter all time than Dustin Poirer, and this kind of erases those last 2 wins on his resume. Because you could chalk it up to they were super young at that time, Max wasn't ready for that weight class, it was Dustin's weight class, but if he beats him now, that erases all that, and it sets Max up well in the lightweight division going forward, which he does care about his career, and he knows that this is a must-win fight. If he doesn't win this fight, this could spell trouble for any chance that Max has at getting back to a championship in his UFC career. So Max is going to be locked in, and this is a must-win fight for him. Whereas Dustin, he knows he's retiring. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses this fight. He might even be looking at it like, even if I do lose this fight, I'm 36, people know it's the end of my career. I've already beat this guy 2 times. This isn't a win that Dustin needs to have on his career. He could be viewing it that way. Now, obviously, he's always going to try to win, but that's just the deep psyche in the back of his mind. And when we talk about cardio and the gas tank, at age 36, no fighter has a better gas tank than they did when they were at age 30. And Max Holloway is a volume striker. He's not out here trying to pull you out like Ilya Tapir in one punch. He's trying to take you to the late rounds and overwhelm you with volume, have you wore out, and next thing you know, you're going to be knocked out or you're going to lose a decision. And with Dustin Poirier being older and having less cardio and less of a gas tank, I think this is going to be a big advantage for Max Holloway, who is still in his prime and is going to take advantage of this. And not to mention the power that Max Holloway has been able to add in his career, especially with the time to bulk up to 155. There could even be a chance for a knockout early in the fight. But that is all I have for this video for you guys. If you've made it this far, a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it as they help me out a lot in the algorithm. And tell me down below who you think will win. Is Max Holloway going to beat Dustin Poirier? Or is Dustin Poirier going to go into retirement with a win on his career? You guys let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video later this week. Deuces.